What's up, you guys? Long time no see. I haven't been here in a little bit. My name's Grady. If you've never been here before, I listen to country music on this channel along with whatever else I want to listen to. And so thanks for being patient with me while I have been away. So I've been traveling a lot in the last couple months. That's why I haven't been able to do an album roundup. But thanks for checking out the channel. It's been doing like really well, even though I haven't been here for 3 weeks. I was in Africa, I was in Burundi, and then I was in Kenya, and I can talk more about that some other time. But I was seeing that there was tons of comments coming in on the Carrie Underwood reactions, and I still need to go through those and respond to you guys. But I will. It's taken me a minute to get back into my rhythms here. I had a lot of work to obviously catch up on, and then needed to get back into my routine, so YouTube wasn't the priority, but I'm ready to get back into the swing of things. Like, I'm actually going out of town again today, so I'm going to make this video super quick, very few edits in it, and I'm going to be talking about not the Eric Church album, unfortunately. It's amazing. A video's coming. It has some problems. I'm also going to, make an album roundup and give you some more clarified thoughts on the Carrie Underwood review, because I know that's been a controversial topic, and I really need to look at all your comments, because there's a lot of thoughtful things written there and a lot of unthoughtful things written there, but whatever, I like it all. But today, the purpose of this video is to check out 2 new singles that dropped today. One, Ladies in the 90s by Lauren Alaina, who's one of the first videos that I actually did on this channel, was reacting to her very underrated pop country album, Road Less Traveled, that came out in, I think, early 2017. And then the other one I want to check out is Tim McGraw's new one, Neon Church. Now, just because it takes a long time to edit them, I'm not going to listen through them right now. Or I'm not going to, chop it up and talk about the songs. I'm going to listen to both of them and then give you my thoughts at the end. So I will see you in a minute. Alright, so I just gave both songs a listen, and I'm going to start talking about Tim McGraw's Neon Church. Just because it's number one, it's number one on iTunes right now in country music, and it's kind of, he's a big old star. So let's start with him. Tim McGraw, for the last decade, his lead singles, they always, suck. He did, Truck Yeah, he did Looking for That Girl, which I actually debuted when I worked at Entertainment Weekly. He did, what was the song that started his last album that was just such a nothing single? Top of the World, that song. I don't understand really what he is looking for when he releases lead singles, because they're always like a letdown, so I'm not too worried about this, but for me, Neon Church is kind of a letdown as well. I think the main thing that I thought when listening to this song for the first time was that he sounds super weird, like he's singing through some kind of magic mic, those little toys. I didn't enjoy it at all. Overlayered, too much production on his voice. Now, thematically, Neon Church is a song about how he needs to be in a bar in a neon church and let the pain slip away as he's kind of drowning his sorrows. This is, I think, a pretty well-worn topic at this point. Weed, Willie, and Whiskey by Brothers Osborne, even a song from Eric Church's album today, Jukebox in a Bar and Drowning Man, they both kind of capture that same idea. And I just think that this song comes across to me extremely melodramatic. It's a little too revering of, being around the people that were all backsliding together and were just drinking and sad in a bar. Even Kenny Chesney's last record had a song about that, trying to reason with hurricane season. I just think it's not that deep of a topic, and the way it's presented in this song is very maudlin, and yeah, melodramatic is the word that comes to mind. I do think that it is within the traditions of country music, but I don't think it's an especially pretty melody. I think it's extremely overproduced, and so I'm going to give this one 4.5 out of 10. Maybe that's harsh. Maybe a 5 out of 10. But I really hate I hate the sound of it. I don't like the production, and I think it's a fairly generic lyric. All that said, Tim McGraw always, with his second and third singles, I always love him. So I'm not that worried about it. I'm really not. Alright, then let's talk about Lauren Alaina's Ladies in the 90s. This is a very interesting title to me, and the song is really, really a lot of fun. It's an earworm. I've heard it twice now, and it's that whole chorus of I just wanna feel like ladies in the 90s. That is, it gets in there. It sticks in there. So very, very catchy melody. This is written by her and Amy Wag and Jesse Frazier, I believe. Now this is definitely like poppier than it is country, but it is naming a bunch of references to songs like Strawberry Wine, Cowboy Take Me Away, Fancy, and then also some pop songs like Genie in a Bottle, Baby One More Time, and there's a Spice Girls reference in there, and there's tons, and I'm not going to go through all of them, but she's listing how she wants to capture this feeling, I guess, that she associates with freedom and childhood of these ladies in the 90s. Now, this song is sort of quietly political, I think. Not political in a, actual politics sense, but in a country radio sense, in which she's saying, like, I miss hearing women on the radio like I did when I was driving around in my dad's old Ford in the 90s. I want to hear that, and I want to feel those things and party with them and dress like they do. And she's saying, like, there's nothing for me to hear anymore, and I wish I could go back to when I turned on the radio and there were these gals that were saying stuff that resonated with me. Now, I really like that about this song. I wonder if the reason that it's a mix of country references and pop references is that so it doesn't feel too accusatory to country radio, and they don't feel like they're getting slammed by this artist and they're actually still willing to play it. Because it is a little bit of a confusing thing to have both of them in there, especially because I don't necessarily see how something like, Genie in a Bottle is like this empowering song. I don't know, maybe it is, but I do like that about it. I like that she's kind of calling out that there are not girls on the radio for other girls to be listening to and being like, man, I vibe with that and I like it. The song in some ways it's isolating for a guy to listen to because it's not at all about the male experience. This is about a girl wanting to be like these other girls in the 90s, but that's also what I like about it. It's specific enough that it actually, I think, resonates more, and I'm like, I could see a girl really wanting that and wanting to feel this. I think it has a really driving, fun power about it. I think her voice sounds excellent, probably also over a little produced. My biggest frustration with the song is just that this concept, I think, is getting really played out really quickly. We had Song for Another Time by Old Dominion, which was just kind of naming a bunch of old songs. Then we had 90s Country by Walker Hayes, which is doing the same thing. We have 2002 by Anne Marie on pop radio, which is referencing Bye 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 and 99 Problems and all that. And now Charlie XCX has 1999. Even on Eric Church's new record, there's a song called Hippie Radio where he's kind of doing the exact same thing, but in a little more of a personal way, kind of reflecting on his dad's old Pontiac. All of which is to say, I think that this concept, it's a little bit lazy. It's just kind of like the blatant nostalgia grab, I think it comes across a little bit opportunistic to me, and it's not as narrative as I want it to be. There's parts of this song that I feel like are really narrative, like the first verse going into the chorus, but then as it just starts to kind of pepper these random references through the song, like You Oughta Know, they just say for one line referencing the Alanis Morissette song, it gets a little bit weaker to me, and it's not as as incisive of a message as what it kind of was saying. So I think it is really fun to listen to. It's a really strong melody. I actually think it might be a hit for her, but lyrically it leaves a little bit to be desired, and the concept is played out. So I'm going to give this song a 6 out of 10, and you guys know how I feel about Lauren Alaina. I always wish her all the success in the world. I wish Same Day, Different Bottle had gotten pushed to radio, because I think that is the classic of classics waiting to happen from her first album, but that's all I'm going to say about those two songs. You guys let me know what you think of them, and I'm going to hit the road. I also want to say, check out my beard oil. This stuff is a good deal. I know Christmas is coming up. You guys should buy some. If you have a bearded friend or a father or a loved one or whatever, if you enter the code YouTube at checkout, you can save yourself 25%. So I'll put a link down to that in the description down below. You guys have an awesome weekend. I'm coming back. We're going to talk more about Kara. We're going to talk about Eric. We're going to even maybe review that Lady Gaga song that's #1 from A Star Is Born, Shallow, because I feel like that movie's got some country vibes, but I haven't listened to the song. I've been waiting to maybe do it on here. So you guys let me know what you want to see, other albums I need to check out, and I'll see you soon. Bye. It's very good to be back. Oh, And shout out to Zach Kephart. He wrote a really kind article about this channel, and I really, really appreciated it. I'll also link that down in the description. Okay, bye, y'all.